Hi folks, today we're going to be going over the ones, which is teaching you factor label method. Skip the bell work right now. All right, little joke there for you. This first page of this is your ones, and it goes over all of how to do factor label, which I'm going to teach you. So after I teach you, if you still need more assistance, then you should go back and look this over. It takes you through it step by step. Again, these next few slides are just all about that. Today, we're not going to worry about sig figs because that's not really the goal. The real goal is to learn how to do factor label method. And you did learn this back in ninth grade. So, and as a matter of fact, this is the ninth grade sheet. So there's a couple things that we do, a couple rules, a couple ways of going about doing these problems. The first thing is you always write down what you're given. So I'm going to write 6.32. I'm going to write pounds. I'm actually going to put the LB up here so I don't think it's a 16. But that's the first thing you do. You write down what you're given. You put a multiplication sign as your second step. Third step is a division bar. And then whatever your label is up top, that is the label that must go down here as well. Okay. In this first problem, I am looking to go to kilograms. And I do have some information, a conversion factor over here about kilograms. So I can go to kilograms right like that. Now I simply just have to plug the number in with the proper label. So this is the number that goes with the pound. So I go 2.20462 with the pound, and I put a 1 with a kilogram. I want all of you to do the math on your calculators to make sure that you are in fact using your calculators correctly. If you punch this into your calculator, you should get 2.866707, okay, kilograms. Now, do you need to write all that out? No. When we apply the sig fig rules to this, we'll end up getting answers that are not quite as long. When we do this problem, though, the pound label cancels out with the pound label. We're left with a label of kilograms. So if this seems very familiar to you, you can go ahead and try this next problem, pause the video and try it. Otherwise, I'm going to go through the steps. So again, the steps, you start with what you're given. So 5.73, the label is very important. So meters, second step, multiplication sign, third step, division bar, fourth step, whatever this label is, must go on the bottom. What can I convert meters into? Well, I have a conversion factor over here that allows me to go to feet. I read the problem, they do want it in feet, so I can put feet up here. What are the numbers? Well, the 1 goes with the meters, so I put a 1 with the meters. The 3.2808 goes with the feet, so 3.2808 goes with the feet. Pause the video, crunch that on your calculator, make sure you're using your calculator correctly. When you get this on your calculator, you should get something very similar to this. Again, when we apply sig fig rules later on, we'll talk about where to round that off. The meters label cancels out with the meters label. We're left with our label of feet. So now we got to do a couple conversion factors ourselves. This is our problem that we have right here, but we have to fill out a little information before we do that. In 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. In 1 minute, there is 60 seconds. And our problem is convert 2.43 hours into seconds. So I start with what they're given. Actually, why don't you pause the video, see if you can do this one on your own. Start the video up if you get stuck or if you finish it. So I start with what we're given, 2.43 hours. Second step, multiplication sign. Third step, division bar. Fourth step, whatever this label is, it must go down there. What can I convert hours into? Well, I have a conversion factor right here, so I can convert hours into minutes. Now, some of you might start putting numbers into things right away, and that may confuse you. I like to set the whole thing up with labels first. We're not done yet. We're in minutes, so we're actually going to extend this problem with another multiplication sign, another division bar. Whatever this label is on top, it must go on the bottom. Minutes. What can I convert minutes into? Well, I could go back to hours, but that wouldn't make any sense. I can take my minutes and I can go to seconds though. Now I just have to go and find numbers to put in the blanks. So 60 goes with seconds. And in this conversion factor, the 1 goes with the minutes. Up here, the 60 goes with the minutes. And the 1 goes with the hour. My labels are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with my label in seconds. And when I solve this, I end up getting the following: 8,748 seconds. So in this next one, we're going to convert this many minutes into years. In 1 year, there's 365 days. There's 24 hours in 1 day. There's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So when we set this up, again, just like always, we start with what we're given. And I think it'd be a very good idea if you pause the video and try to do this whole problem yourself and then start it back up if you're having problems or if you finished it. Minutes, multiplication sign, division bar, whatever is up here goes down there, minutes. What can I convert minutes into? Well, I can convert minutes into hours. Multiplication sign, division bar, because I don't want hours, I want years. So whatever's on top goes on the bottom, hours. What can I convert hours into? Well, now I can go to days. Multiplication sign, division bar, because I don't want my answer in days, I want it in years. So whatever this label is, it must go down there. And what can I convert days into? I can convert that into years. Now I got to go and put some numbers in there. Hours and minutes. What's the relationship with hours and minutes? Well, the 1 goes with the hour and the 60 goes with the minutes. What's the relationship between days and hours? Well, the 1 goes with the days and the 24 goes with the hours. So 1 day, 24 hours. And what's the relationship between years and days? The 1 goes with the years and the 365 goes with the days. So the 1 goes with the year and the 365 goes with the days. Labels cancel out. Numbers do not. We're left with our answer in years. Punch that all into your calculator. See if you do get the correct answer. And the correct answer is 1.056992 years. Again, we're not going to pay too much attention to sig figs. We will go over those more as time goes on. All right, here's an interesting one. Why don't you see if you can set it up, pause the video, see if you can set it up, and turn it back on when you need some assistance. So in this one, we're given 80 years. So we did, in fact, start with 80 years. And it wants to know how many times do you fart in the 80-year period. So whatever the label is here, it must go down there. So years go down here. What can you convert years into? Well, in the last problem, we found out that we can convert years into days. So let's do that. We can do that easy enough. I do not want to know how many times in days. I want to know how many times you fart. So in this one, days are up here, so days must go on the bottom of the next step. And we do have a conversion factor of 14 times a day, so we can put that up there. See if you can put the numbers in. So now I'm looking for numbers. I have 14 farts in a day or 1 day, so that's 14 in 1 day. Days and years, well, we learned in the last problem we have 365 days in 1 year. My labels cancel out, my numbers do not. I'm left with my answer in farts. And in an 80-year period, there's a lot. This is what you should get on your calculator, and it's always important for you to check that you're using your calculator correctly. Pause this, try this next problem. All right, so what are we starting here? We got 80 years. This is 70 heartbeats every minute, so that's actually a conversion factor. So I'm going to start with 80 years again. Multiplication sign, division bar, whatever's on top goes on the bottom of the next step. I want to get to heartbeats. So what can I convert years into? Well, we've been learning we can convert years into days. Multiplication sign, division bar, because I don't want my answer in days. I want it in heartbeats. So whatever's up here goes down here. So days go down here. What can I convert days into? Well, I can convert days into hours. Do I want my answer in hours? No, I want it in heartbeats. So multiplication sign, division bar, whatever's up here goes down here. Hours. I can convert hours into minutes. Well, my answer in minutes? No, I want it in heartbeats. So I'm still not done yet. Multiplication sign, division bar, whatever's up there goes down there, minutes. And now I can go to heartbeats. I have to go put in some numbers. Well, the relationship between days and years, again, 365 in 1 year. Hours and days, 24 hours in 1 day. Minutes and hours, 60 minutes in 1 hour. And heartbeats and minutes, well, we have 70 of those. All the labels cancel out except for heartbeats. Punch that into your calculator to make sure that you are using your calculator correctly. If you do, you get the following number: 294336000 heartbeats in a lifetime. And if you do, in fact, want to look at a prettier version of all that, I have that right there for you. Try this next one on your own. Pause the video. So in this one, again, how many times do you breathe in 80 years? So we have 1 breath every 5 seconds. So that's a conversion factor. So we're going to start with the 80 years. Multiplication sign, division bar, whatever's up here goes down here. Years. What can I convert years into? I can convert years into days. Don't want my answer in days. I want my answer in number of breaths. So whatever's up here goes down here. Days. What can I convert days into? I can convert days into hours. Okay, multiplication sign, division bar, whatever's up here goes down here. Hours. What can I convert hours into? I can convert hours into minutes. All right, do I want my answer in minutes? No, I want it in breaths, so I got to get rid of minutes. So whatever's up here goes down here, minutes. What can I convert minutes into? What can I convert into breaths? No, I don't know that. I know seconds, so I can be converted that into seconds. Do I want my answer in seconds? No, I want it in breaths, so that goes in the bottom of the next step. Seconds. And finally, I get breaths up on top. All right, now I can put in some numbers. There's 365 days in a year. There's 24 hours in 1 day. There's 60 minutes in 1 hour. There's 60 seconds in 1 minute. And there is 1 breath every 5.0 seconds. All the labels cancel out but breaths. And if I get my final answer, it's a big one. So here we go. 504. It's a 0. 504. 57600. That's breaths. And make sure you do that in your calculator. Make sure that you are putting it in correctly. And here's a prettier version of all of that right there. So if you had some troubles with that, you might want to print up another sheet. You might want to look at the very first page and refresh your memory on how to do all these problems. Please come in for help. We do tons of these kinds of problems throughout the year.